Simon from simonwoods.com. Now today I'm in one of the most beautiful parts of France, Provence. I was in Provence in September and it was a glorious, glorious time of year. Not too hot, lovely sunny days, and I was driving along these lovely windy coastal roads, going, you know, like in the Italian Job. Oh, yeah, I know that's just over the border, but it's not, it's the same road, isn't it? Going the Self-Preservation Society. It was a lovely day, and I didn't end up with my back end hanging over any strange precipitous cliff tops, and I found some lovely wines on while I was there. Let's see whether I've got some lovely wines today. I've got 2 rosés, 2 reds. They do make a bit of white in Provence, but I think rosés are probably the main event. Certainly the bit Côte de Provence round there, and I think maybe even in the whole of Provence, it's something like 60–70% of all the wine that is made is pink, which is unusual for for really any part of the world. There's no really, I can't think of any other part of the world where rosé is quite so popular. I mean, even somewhere like Anjou in the Loire. Anyway, first one I've got, what are we on here? Chateau Barbaneau, Côte de Provence, l'instant. Will it be instantly appealing? Let's have a sniff. Provence rosé, great varieties that they use. There's a lot of that Mediterranean mix, Grenache Mourvèdre, a bit of Syrah, but 2 of the grapes that you'll find maybe a bit more than in the rosés. One called Cinsault and another one called Tiburon, which no one's ever heard of Tiburon outside the Provence and outside rosé production. You can make a red wine with it, but I've never tried one, and apparently talked to the winemakers and it's a bit ropey. But as a rosé, it works pretty well. Not sure how much of it there is in here or whether there is any, but let's give it a sniff. Well, it's got what I call red fruit and apple richness. It's got things like raspberries, strawberries, a bit of plum, and it smells like it's going to be clean, fresh, quite delicate. I mean, the rosés from this part of the world are never sort of those full, gutsy, big, blousy wines that sometimes you can get in parts of the New World. A bit more restrained, but perfect with bouillabaisse. Yeah, there's a really nice, juicy, plummy character coming through there. It's probably at a temperature much warmer, no, not all that much warmer, but warmer than you'd serve your typical rosé. Sometimes people stick their rosés in the ice bucket, for me, for far too long. And what happens is you end up with, yes, something that's crisp, but you can hardly taste the wine that's in there. Quite like it at this slightly higher temperature, because you can get some of that rounded, juicy fruit. If you want something, I mean, you can by all means stick it in the fridge, but don't stick it in the fridge for too long, an hour maximum. And then, if it gets a bit too warm, stick it back in the fridge. But it's January here, so the chances of it getting a bit too warm are slim. One of the things that makes me think there is a little bit of that Tiburon grape in there. There's something almost like a sandy character. You must have had that where you've dropped your lolly in the sand and picked it up and licked it. Not intentionally, of course, but yeah, it's almost like a sandy, dusty, earthy character. Nice wine. Let's see whether the next one's as good. Les Quatre Tours Signature Coteau d'Aix-en-Provence. So probably a bit further towards Marseille with this one. Doesn't smell quite as fruity. It smells. This one here had more red fruit richness. This one feels like more. It wants to be more on the white wine side. There's a slight peachy, peach and pear character. If I'd had my eyes shut and you told me it was a white wine, I'd probably have believed you. Yeah, it's got a rounded, juicy softness. Not too soft, and it's still got freshness and grip and acidity. And it leaves your mouth feeling satisfied. It knows it's had a wine. There's some rosés sometimes that you taste and it's like spot the. I put these things on my notes, STW, spot the wine. Definitely wine here. But as I say, if you told me it was white and I had my eyes shut, I'd have believed you there, because there's this juicy, ever so slightly peachy character. Almost like a Chardonnay with just a little bit of red fruit I can't speak. Red fruit richness in there. What I call fair enough wine. I prefer the first one, but still pretty good. Anyway, 2 reds. Now we are Côte de Provence with a Domaine Grimoresque. Now it says on this bottle Cru Classé. I can't remember when they came up with this this Cru Classé set of classification. There are about 20 something, 26 estates in Provence that once upon a time someone thought, these are the top, let's give them a cru classé. In other words, a classified growth status, much in the way that they have in Bordeaux. Rimoresque is it's still one of the best. So this is, they do. I think they've got maybe even 2 wines above here. Certainly one above that's called Art de Rimoresque. But grapes here: Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, Carignan, Mourvèdre. So a mix of the the Bordeaux varieties, Cabernet Sauvignon, with the traditional southern French ones. Well, it's the Cabernet Sauvignon that comes through quite strongly. There's this rich plumminess, blackberries, black currants, but then Mourvèdre's got this earthy, meaty character, and there's so you get this wash of Bordeaux-style red fruit and black fruit to start with, but then something like a bit wild or a bit more savage comes through. So you're getting the herby character of the local hills coming through as well. Well, that's tasty wine. What I really like about it, Cabernet Sauvignon. It's got those characters of ripe Cabernet Sauvignon. Not so ripe that it's gone into that raisiny, what the Australians call dead fruit character, where you're getting, it tastes of all dead skins and stuff like that. But a warm, almost like olive-like complexity, rich, dark berry and plum fruit, maybe a bit of the black currant. It hasn't got, sometimes black Cabernet Sauvignon can have this leafy character. They haven't got some of that, but what they have got is that touch of tobacco. But then it's the other things as well. It's this meatiness of Mourvèdre, it's this spice of Syrah, and this dusty peppery character of Carignan. And then beyond, what I call the life beyond fruit, there's you can tell that this has come from a place. There's that warm olive, herby dustiness of the Mediterranean. Tasty, tasty, very, very tasty. It's very tasty. That one had a bit of Mourvèdre in. I think this next one is all Mourvèdre. I might be wrong, but the appellation of Bandol, which is one of the more westerly bits of Provence. Mourvèdre is the main grape there, and this is an estate called La Franc-Vérol. They're 2004. What's it called? The Cuvée Spéciale, which I have a feeling might even be 100% Mourvèdre. Let's see if there's more of that wild meatiness here. Yes, this is rich, earthy stew wine. Maybe not exactly what you want when you're on your summer holiday, sitting by the beach with a plate of shellfish, but it's got this savage wildness much in the same way that they had that character here. Here, there's even more of it. There's a dark, feral side to it, a side that has got some stories which are probably not repeatable in front of your grandmother. Yeah, there's a bit of undergrowth, there's a bit of this rounded, ever so slightly fruitcake-like warm red fruit spice. Yes, it speaks of underground pleasures. There's an you know, sometimes if you go into a very, very clean cellar underground, you get that smell in the air, and it's not mould, and it's not something that's dank and wet, but there's something about the air that has this slightly charged, aromatic, really quite interesting and intriguing, but slightly creepy side to it. Creepy wine. I don't think I've ever said a wine's creepy before. And it's a firm, rich, chewy wine. This is 2004. We're in early in 2011 here. It still feels young. It still feels like it's got developing to do, because this is, this chewy, almost like an iron-rich character coming through. Yes, there's the fruit. There's this core of darkness and plumminess, but then there's this dusty, ever so slight dank creepiness, or creepy dankness, which could it be, about it. Wild, the sort of wine that you would never see somebody making in somewhere like Australia. I don't think they know how to make something quite so funky. Maybe one day they will, but and some of them would look at it and think there's something wrong here. Well, maybe there is something wrong, but think about your best friends. Who are the friends who you like going out with? Is it the ones who are all clean and pristine, or is it the ones who've got some naughty secrets? This wine's got naughty secrets and a creepy side. Yeah, it's growing on me, and I think it's going to be even better in a few hours' time. Interesting contrast between those two, because the Rimores is conventionally classy, and this one has got that that little bit of the wild side. If you want to say this one's Tom Hanks, this one's a bit more of the Johnny Depp, and maybe even a bit of the Rutger Hauer's going on in there. But both lovely wines. The rosés were pretty good too, but these for me are a step above. Provence, best known for rosés, but my favourite wines from the region are the reds. See you soon.